Hey, welcome to a Father Forever podcast. Today we're interviewing a young man who was a former student of mine. He went off to college and he's doing well in life, but he wants to share his story, and very interesting story. So let's get on to Chris's story.
Hey everyone, welcome to a Father Forever podcast. I'm here with prior student of mine in high school who since has graduated from college and working on his master's if you haven't gotten it already, and just a fine young man. So first I want to welcome you to a podcast. Thank you for coming and man, I'm just so glad that you're here, man.
Appreciate you, Mr. D. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man, we had some fun times up at Union High School, man. Remember, I used to give everybody 10 minutes. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Oh yeah, that was a science class, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, it was class, the hot
Yeah.
class. My thing was what's interesting, let kids talk about the things that they need to talk about. Because, with bigger information, they regurgitate it back on the test.
Right.
You're not much about late, but I like it. What I think a lot of kids like about that test is we can talk about anything, but there's some rules, okay? You can't talk about anyone's sexuality, anyone's religion, anyone's race, all that kind of stuff, But we had some interesting conversations up there.
Yeah, I think the farthest we took it was probably politics because that was around the time Trump and Biden, or no, Trump and Hillary had ran, and they, how everybody was during those times. What was that 2016, somewhere around there? 17,
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what impressed me about you, man, is I found out that you were a baseball player.
Yeah.
And you guys found out that I was baseball coach at Sarah High School, and you guys were in search for a coach.
We were looking for a coach during that time. I remember that.
And you said, Mr. D, well, why don't you become coach?
Yeah, I remember that.
And my response was, hey, man, you need a team of coaches to coach a team, and they don't pay high school coaches, I mean, 2 or 3 grand for the whole season. Then you put in tons of hours.
Yeah.
Tons of hours. So anyway, man, I recall that I said, hey, you gonna play baseball in college?
Yeah.
What was your response?
Initially, I was undecided. I really didn't know what I had wanted to do. I was working at the 99 cent store during that time, so I think I had tried to get into CSUN. CSUN's a local college over here, and I didn't get in. I'm the only person I know that didn't get into CSUN. I know a girl with like a 1.8, even she got in. So it's like, dang, I couldn't get into there. So my college dreams were kind of like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna just work at the 99 cent store. But then I think we played Hamilton High School.
That's exactly.
Yeah, and I went out there and I dominated. I had a great game.
I think you had a 1 or 2 hit or something like that.
It was something good that the coach recognized it. He talked to his people and whatever the case may be. So I got an offer, and I wasn't gonna go. I wasn't. South Carolina. I've never been to South Carolina a day in my life. Never. Don't even know where it's at on the map during that time. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on. But I remember, yeah, asking you, asking for your advice, and you said I should go. I should go and take that experience, and it's probably one of my best life decisions that I've ever made.
Yeah, I recall sharing with you. I say, man, LA isn't going anywhere.
Right.
So you either stay here all your life or go expand your mind, your horizon, and go other places and learn about different cultures and people and all that. And you did that.
Yeah.
I never forget, man. You was in my hometown of Philly,
Yeah.
and you gave me a phone call.
Yeah. I remember I was staying with my friend. One of the baseball team's name is Fareed. Him and his family welcomed me in to go spend Thanksgiving with them. So, I just went out there. I remember calling you, asking you about the Philly cheesesteaks, like what was the best place and everything. We ended up going to Max's, and it's still the best Philly cheesesteak I've ever had in my life.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. New York I guess, is known for its pizza. Maybe was that Chicago?
Well, Chicago and New York pizza. I don't
Yeah.
know, English though, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but for those who talk about cheesesteaks, I think
Yeah.
Philly's the main one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey man, let's talk about you situation. You have any brothers and sisters?
I have a little
A
sister.
little sister, I remember that.
Uh-huh.
How's she doing?
She's doing pretty good right now. She's homeschooled, So she's trying to, push through that, and she's trying to go to college in Atlanta right now. So she's 16. She's a junior. So I'm trying to work her up to that, and
Oh, good. What school was she looking at?
she was looking at Clark originally in Spelman, but she's more into art. She likes to take pictures and do things like that. So that's really good. She really enjoys that. So I love that for her.
So she's very creative then.
Very creative, yes.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Make sure you tell your mom and your uncle and your aunt that I said hello, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, they really impressed me when you invited me down prior to going to college.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Remember?
on the way party. Yeah, I
Yeah,
invited you. Yeah.
yeah, that was real nice. So, hey man, so let's talk about you know, the man, father, grandfather, uncle, anyone who was instrumental in you becoming this great young man that you are.
I think originally it was more of my two uncles, my uncle Ed and my uncle Howie. They kind of, paved the way. Older cousins as well. I'm the youngest boy cousin, so I got
Okay.
to see all my older boy cousins before me. So I kind of just took a little bit from everybody. I remember my grandpa. I think he passed in probably when I was like in the eighth grade. So I remember something, some things about him.
Okay.
Not, I didn't really, get into depth about things with him like I would have wanted to, but.
So was he
Yeah,
local?
yeah, he was welcome.
Okay.
I lived with him and my grandma for a while, but yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
after that, I'll say me and my dad had reconnected because issues in the beginning, whatever the case may be. We had reconnected. I want to say my sophomore, my freshman year of college. That summer we
Oh, so you're
reconnected.
talking about you was about 19 to 20 years old then.
Yeah, about 19
So
years
prior
old.
to that, how long were you guys disconnected?
It was like an on and off thing. I would go over there some weekends, tell my mom, no, I don't want to go back, wouldn't go back. And it was just like, and my dad is very stubborn, and I was very stubborn. And so it was just like we used to just butt heads a lot. Like we just didn't see eye to eye. I mean, I was young, I wanted to have fun, and he was more strict and disciplined. And as a young kid, you're not really thinking strict and disciplined. You're thinking, let me get on these video games. So, but yeah, so we struggled with that for a while. But after that, we had reconnected, and it was all good from there. It was all good from there.
Okay, so how did that disconnect? How did that impact your life? Being the youngest male in your family.
And it's honestly, it's brutal.
Really?
Brutal. It's not as easy as some people would think. Like you get to so there's just a bunch of influence. There's no male figure. My grandpa was my male figure in my household, but there's no male figure in the household. And believe it or not, that has an impact on the child
In the home.
in the home. So I wasn't as disciplined as I was like I am now. At least I wasn't. I guess the term would be more masculine. I lacked masculinity. I think that's the word when I was growing up younger. I want to say for a period of time, once my grandpa died, I lived in the house with six females and it was just me for about 4 years. So it was no male figure in my life, and that hurt. That like looking back at it, that cost me a lot of time on how to become a man because I had to learn how to do that myself.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
It was nothing negative about the six females, but
Man, every other week somebody yelling at me and screaming, man.
wow. But it was interesting in school. I never saw that side of you.
Yeah.
I guess you were able to balance that because you was a kid when I had you in school. You were disciplined. Maybe not compared to now you weren't, but you gotta remember the kids out like man, some guys off the chart, man, as well as some of those girls. But
Yeah, I think I became disciplined my senior year. I remember my schedule that I had. It was wake up at about 5, drive to school, go to practice, go to work, come home and do homework. So it was no playtime. It
yeah,
was everything was locked in. Yeah,
you was a worker, you're an employee,
yeah,
and you was a baseball player.
yeah,
You had sleep sometime, right?
yeah. I had to sleep.
Yeah.
Something
So
I don't know how to do.
so that there shows you got discipline. You just wasn't aware that you had the discipline because most kids you got they want to go out and have fun.
Right.
They didn't have time for all that. That's interesting. So when you and your father connected, did you guys talk about things? I mean, what were the conversations about?
Uh, the conversations were very, very light. I think the initial conversation we had, I wanted to know what happened. Like why weren't you basically like in my life, like why weren't you fighting as hard? Because as a young kid, I thought you, or growing up, I thought you should have been fighting harder. And he told me his side of the story. Mom and dad, they both got different sides of the
Of
story.
course,
What
two
happened?
sides to a coin.
Right. So it's like, I had to pick and choose on, okay, he said this, but she said this. And, so I think I was about 19. So I had to kind of maneuver through that. But after we got having a rough patch, after that, it was pretty smooth. So I think we got into maybe like one argument. I remember he had pissed me off. He did something. But after that, it was all smooth sailing. Yeah.
That's good because most kids that age, because that's let's say 15 to 19 years of age, uh, navigate the waters of that uh, pathway that you were on,
Mhm.
that had to be very challenging.
Yeah, it was different. I think it was harder for me mostly because I'm probably a mama's boy. That's what everybody in my family would probably call me. I'm a mama's boy, and I just used to be around a lot of women all the time. So I didn't have any real type of masculine energy outside of my like uncles and stuff like that. But they didn't live with us.
Did you have it with any professional help at any time?
Yeah. See, once my dad had passed, uh, once my dad passed, that's when life really became real. I was on my way to go get my master's. This was in 2021. My dad had passed, and me and my girl had just a big blowout. We broke up. So I was like,
You was going to school in Houston at the time, right?
it was the summer before I left.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, so usually the way how I deal with things, me being a man, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna deal with multiple women and blah blah blah. I think I had sex with like 4 women in a week or within the 2 weeks to, try to ease the pain because that's what worked for me in the past. So I
Mm.
tried to, do it again. It didn't work this time. So I said, okay, something's seriously wrong with me. I need to like go seek help. So when I got to Houston, I ran into a therapist called Dr. Karen, and she helped. She helped a lot. She gave me a different viewpoint on life, which helped me have different perspectives on different situations.
And so you was able to look at your circumstances from a different set of lens now.
Right, right, yeah. It wasn't. I wasn't really. I wasn't really. I would say probably right when it happened, I was kind of feeling bad, but looking back on it now, like I'm not gonna say it was necessary for me to become the man that I am today, but that little triumph of those months or 2, 3 months, those that turned me into the man that I've become today, and I've taken that to a different level. If that makes sense.
Well, no, that makes sense because we have in the Five Forever we have what we call our diamond culture.
Right.
It's a spiritual wellness, mental wellness, uh, physical wellness, and financial wellness. And then mental wellness. See, a lot of men, I want to thank you for your transparency, man.
Yeah.
Because men think I don't need help.
Um,
And
excuse me.
just because we don't understand something or we handle it in don't handle it the way it should be handled, whatever that means. Uh, that's why people go to school and they're able to help those who need help. And to me, it shows a sign of strength when you acknowledge your weakness.
Right. Yeah, I would say therapy is necessary for everybody because even though for you may believe you fully know yourself, you're fully this, there's always more work to be done. There's just always more work to be done even within yourself. You can, go seek professional help and they'll basically, help you in a sense.
Man,
As long as you're open to it, I'll say that because some people aren't open
you definitely
to
have,
getting help.
you have to have, well, because you think you don't need help.
You think you know it all.
And you think you know it all.
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I was in college, back in 1980 when I graduated. I remember this professor said, the more intelligent you become, the more you realize how ignorant you are about
Right.
something. because there's just so much to know about everything. If it's just one thing, like it's a depth of information you need to know about this one thing. So found out to be interesting. So, uh, and your little sister now, does she have a re- relation with her dad?
I think it's the same situation.
Same.
Yeah, I think it's a little shaky. I think she talks to him every now and then. Like, they'll speak. I think maybe I don't know how frequent it is. I don't really ask her about it.
So you guys have different problems.
Correct.
Okay, okay. What do you think you may? Uh, would she be open to talking to you about the situation? That you could share some things with her, or that's not.
Yeah, I'll be open to it. Now that you mentioned it, I'll probably do it.
Yeah.
When me and my sister speak, we have a real laughable, kiki, real funny relationship. But I try to install like hard work and discipline in her.
Because you're the big brother, man.
Right.
Yeah. You said 15, you say 16?
Yeah, 16, yeah.
Critical age.
Yeah.
Very critical age. Because, a large majority of us, we don't have the tools to process all these things that's going on.
Right.
Because, we're growing up, our bodies are changing, our mind is changing, the world is changing. And even at 16 or 17, you're still a kid.
Right.
You think you know everything, but as you know now, you don't, right?
Right.
So we have to navigate the pathway to becoming a great human being that I feel we are destined to be.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people tend to fall into older habits and older tendencies. Some people do we want to get better, but it's just a difficult path to get there in a sense. But I believe everybody wants to get better, but it takes hard work and discipline.
Well, and that's the problem. Hard work and discipline, you have to be focused
Right.
and understand or know what it is that you want to do. Even if you don't know what you want to do, like you said, when you was playing, you was going to school, you were playing baseball, you was working. Man, that takes a discipline to do that. I tell people all the time. When my son was in college, he taking 18 units a semester and
Right.
playing baseball. I said, that's two full-time jobs,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
It
But
takes sacrifice too. Like he had to sacrifice partying, and some people just aren't willing to make the sacrifice, even on the grand scheme of things. For example, let's say there's a married couple and they want to start a business and whatever the case may be. But in order to start that business, they may have to move back in with their parents, 33 years old, whatever the case may be. Some people won't make that sacrifice to start that business. You see what I
oh,
mean?
I understand what you're saying.
So,
Because the fact of the matter is everybody needs help.
right,
Whatever it may be, no one has done it on their own.
right,
There's someone, and this is where Father Forever comes in. We feel that they're a man, a mentor, a teacher maybe, an uncle or grandfather comes in, and because they have lived much longer, they can share some tidbits of this thing called life,
right.
to a younger generation. And I want to acknowledge you the fact that you're a second youngest guy on our podcast.
So,
So and then you're willing to share and talk about whatever. So uh do you have any plans of being a father one day?
yeah, I do. I do plan on being a father one day. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it because I have a belief that in order to achieve the highest level of responsibility, like if it's a child, you taking care of a child, so that's gonna make me more of an adult in a sense because it's no longer just about me anymore. Even though, I may feel I have to take care of my girlfriend or, I have to take care of my sister, but once you have a child, that's really like that's you. You have to take care of your child, and I'm excited to get to that next level in a sense.
I'm glad to hear you say that because a child is helpless. They need to be cared for,
Right,
and a child should have a fun life.
right,
Because when you live, everything's about having fun anyway, right?
right.
So excuse me. Yeah, I think that and you definitely can disagree with this. The thing that you've learned about your relationship with your father, there are some things that you could probably do differently when you raise your child.
Yeah, yeah. That's difficult to say because now looking back on it, when I was younger and I used to be around my dad when I was younger, he tried to install that hard work and discipline. And for anybody who knows me, that's really what I'm about now. Like I really just work hard, stay disciplined. I have a schedule every single day. This is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. This is how long it's gonna take. And so he was doing the correct things, but then I could not see that, being younger. But he could have allowed me to have more fun, and I probably would allow my children to have more fun, to go and experience things and things of that
It
nature.
has to be a balance.
Right.
There has to be a balance. And so your dad passed on to you, or you're gonna pass on to your child or children as far as the work ethic, and you're gonna show by your actions. You will not only speak what you do, but you also do what you say you will do
Right.
by example.
Right.
Because most kids, man, they look up to the daddies.
Yeah.
Most kids, because you get one daddy, man, like you get one mommy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there anything you would like to tell someone your age or a little younger in high school, or whatever, or even in college? Anything you would like to tell them about uh, the value of listening to getting a male mentor, if you have a father or grandfather or an uncle that's on the positive side, that they're not ready to process or accept what they have to say. Is there anything you can say to
I would say I would say listen to most of the things that they are telling you because we're not always correct all the time. So some of the advice, I know some of the advice that my mom's gave to me or my dad gave to me, I can't really use that advice. So you have to kind of decipher which advice you're gonna really take. But I would say listen to most of the things that they're telling you because they're older than you, they've been through it before, but make sure that it aligns with your purpose and your vision and what they're telling you. Like if you guys disagree about something, you may not necessarily want to take their advice if that's how you feel in the moment, because you go based off the information that you have at the time. That's how you make your decisions. So if you believe something completely different from your parents and you feel that's your real path, that's fine. That's fine. They may say go to college. You may say, you know what, college is not for me. And that's completely fine. They've been there. They've done that. They can only install what they believe onto you. But if you don't want to do that, I would say then don't do it. But they still can give you good advice, maybe relationship advice, or even going to college. If you think that's good advice, go ahead and go. It's all up to how you kind of perceive it in a sense, but you have to be open. You have to be open to it.
yeah, because not only just school, but just life experiences, period.
Right.
You can like I said, have that balance of going to your daughter's dance recital,
Yeah.
or going to your son's football game, or whatever it may be. Just because I tell people all the time, the best gift you can give your child or children is your time.
Right. And stuff.
It's time. But you be able to do A, B, C, and D. But there's this other saying. It's something like this. It says that uh, people remember what someone has done for them more than what they will remember what they have said to them.
And
I don't know if that makes sense or not.
no, it does.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good one.
yeah. So, yeah, man. So, like I said, I'm excited that you came here. We had this conversation. Anything you like to add to this?
Um, yeah. Um, for me right now, my personal life, it's pretty, it's going pretty good. I'll say get to
Good.
make better decisions now. Things are kind of aligning for me, so I'm really enjoying that. I remember when you first started, we had mentioned getting my master's. I dropped out of my master's program. It wasn't like I had all A's and B's. Like it was easy. Don't get me wrong, but that just wasn't my path anymore. So now I'm a trader. Are you familiar with what a trader is in a
Yeah,
sense?
I am. That's above my pay grade, but
Okay.
yes.
But yeah, so now I'm trading. I got approved probably about 2, 3 weeks ago. So I'm kind of trading for like a fund with some capital. So I'm starting off with like 100K capital, and I just get to trade it and do things like that. But it's a lot going on in the industry, so we have to maneuver through this and maneuver through that. So yeah, right now I'm enjoying the financial side of life in the sense. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like a zillionaire or even a millionaire, but right now I see a path opening up for me. I see a window, so I'm taking it.
And look at your path that you took. You went from going to the school to working at 99-cent store
Yeah,
to going to high school to college. You know, you decided the pathway in Houston was not for you, and you went to another direction. And that's a great thing about life. So you can find your passion. You can learn what it is that you like to do, but you got to go after it.
yeah, that's the thing. It's just one step at a time. Even if the step is very, very minor, very, very minute. As long as you're taking a step, it's I would say every day, but every day may be hard for some people. Even if you want to go to the gym, maybe it's one day a week to start, then it's 2 days a week, and you just keep building and building and building. You build up that consistency, and then you'll be good.
Well, and that's the key to life is being consistent about whatever it is that you do.
Right.
So. And just this past January, man, you marched in the MLK parade with the Father Forever.
Yeah, I was there for a little bit.
How was that experience?
It was different. I've been to the MLK parade before, but it was on. I was always on the outside. I
Yeah.
was always on the outside looking in. So me being able to do a little bit of the marching, it was different. People, kind of looking at you. You guys are in line, stopping, starting, and it was just like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, and actually, we're going to do a little differently. So where we won't have to get there so early.
Okay.
I'm going to have 2 or 3 people just get our place lined up, and then we meet at a certain time, so it won't be as long. But yeah, I was glad you came in. We had some younger folks there, maybe more younger folks than older folks,
Yeah.
which is a good thing because you guys are our future, man.
Right.
It's as simple as that. And you have to understand, and the reason for the march and the reasoning, uh, the Father Forever, feels that the value of a father in the home
Right. So
is priceless.
priceless.
It's
Priceless. Yeah. It's very needed. Very needed. I just can't say it in words how much needed it really is. Fathers need to be in homes. Very important.
and being positive and being the proper example to the children
Yeah.
and give them the opportunity to discover themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many, especially in the urban area, so many kids that lacking a father figure there,
Right.
and for lack of a better term, they're kind of stuck where they are.
Yeah.
They don't know, and they can't find a way out. Don't know how to get the way out.
Right.
So, and this is why Father Forever does. This is why we do what we do, man,
Right.
to help fathers become better fathers, and
Right.
so when their boys become fathers,
Mhm.
they have an idea of their value as well.
Right.
So, um,
Yeah, that's the
once again, man, I want to thank you, man. Anything else you'd like to add to our listeners, man?
um I would say just stay the course. Whatever you're going through is temporary. It's just if it's a storm right now, it's a storm. Eventually the storm ends, but you just got to make sure you stay consistent. That's the best thing I could say. When you stay consistent at something for long enough, eventually the rewards will pay off. So make sure you have an upwards movement and make sure you're giving your time. That's one thing we didn't get a chance to really talk about. Time is important. Whatever you're giving your time to is what you become. If you give your time to all the stuff that's on the internet, all the BS and all of that, that's what you become. That's what you think about. Those are what you're waking up, those are your thoughts. But if you give your time to, again, if somebody wants to start like a business, if you're starting a hair business, Okay, you're looking up the hairs on YouTube, you're doing this, you're doing that. How do I install it? Where do I buy it from? How do I do this? You're building yourself up into that rather than giving your time to other things that don't necessarily matter. I'll say give your time. Yeah, time.
And I found out, man, over my many years of existence here, that a key word comes into play that takes away your time, and the word is distractions.
Correct. Yeah, I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, I mean, what do you say to a young person that got because of social media, man? Because of social media, man, it takes people to a lot of the wrong places. I'll put it that way. And they don't have time. They have time for that, but don't have time for the things that they need to be. I mean, how do you handle that?
Me personally, right now, so I didn't delete. I just logged out of all my social medias and I created another page. So on that other page, it followed like everybody was talking about stocks, everybody was talking about business, people were talking about God, people were saying motivational things. So that's all that I see in politics. I like to keep up with, political science. That's what I got a minor in. So I like to keep up with those things as well. So that's all that I see on my timeline. I don't see the games. I don't even have Bleacher Report or ESPN on my phone anymore. I had to let that go as well because I'm really like focused
Your
right now.
focus and discipline.
Yeah, I'm trying to really lock in. That's how I deal with it. That would be a start for people to, to log out and go and experience things. Like what do you like to do? Do you do things just because other people like to do things? For example, I don't drink or smoke anymore. Last year I went a whole year without it. And for those of you who know me, like I really used to drink liquor.
Yeah.
I really used to like drink and like really smoke. And there's nothing necessarily wrong, having a drink every now and then, maybe smoking, people like to, I don't want to say ease the pain, but, just relax however they want. So there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but I understood those were all distractions for me. So I had to kind of focus up and do more and spend more time on the things that really mattered in my life. So again, yeah, I would say time is just really important and to log out on social media if you're just watching uh, whatever you're watching.
So, man, at this young age, man, you found out who you are, pretty much. Not entirely, but
Yeah,
you seem to have a heads up, a good start on discovering the greatness that's in you.
yeah. I'm to listen to a philosopher. His name is Jordan Peterson. They're gonna talk about him like how they talk about like Aristotle and like Plato. Like he's one of the greats. He's gonna be one of the like his ideas and how he speaks is very different. It's very very different. So I tend to study some of his tactics and then other people who card. I like to study Kobe. Kobe Bryant worked very hard. I don't know if you know who David Goggins is. I like to yeah I like to study these guys. These guys are quote unquote workaholics but it's the mentality behind it. So those are the people that I quote unquote look up to.
So you want that greatness to come out of you then, right?
I do want the greatness to come out of me. So I'm just working right now.
Yeah, that's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. Okay, man, we're gonna wrap this thing up. I can't thank you enough, man. We'll have to have you back, maybe another 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
We can do this again so we can find out where you are and let these young men know that there's greatness within them as well.
All right.
And if they are a father, that they need to be a father forever.
Right.
Because you're going to be one day, right?
I am gonna be a dad one day. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Not too soon, but hopefully soon.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so, man, we're going to wrap this up. And once again, thank you very much. And let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
Like I said, tell your mom and your uncle and your aunt, I said hello.
Okay.
And we'll keep in touch, right?
Yeah, of course.
Right, man. Thank you so much, man.
It's the day.
All right.
Oh, how was that?
Thought it was good myself.
How was that?
We'll yeah, you express yourself very well, man.
Okay.
Express yourself very well, man. Uh, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I'm just reflecting back on those days up at uni, man.